Good morning once more and welcome. It's still Morning Watch on DRTV. And we are on to our very next segment. It is Issues on the News. I'm sure you had a great time with us in the previous segment, the newspaper review. Well, right now we are on to the very next, and it is Issues on the News, and it is us getting to deliberate on something very interesting. I mean, it's the new year. Yes, which reminds me, have I even wished you a happy new year today? It's still very early to do that, yes. So a happy new year once more. And today we have as our very own guest here in the house to help deliberate on our topic, which is skills you should learn to be able to survive in 2025. We're looking at our guest today, helping to deliberate on the topic. His name is the Prince Abraham. The Prince Abraham. Good morning and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning.
Okay, so he is an author of so many books, 29 I see here. And he is also a public speaker who has spoken in over 22 countries. And of course, I would say it's a pleasure having him here today on the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so having said that, I would like us to, talk about some skills people could begin to think of wanting to dabbling into as 2025 has already set in. Now let's talk about skills in general. What are skills and why should one even begin to think about honing a skill or thinking about getting into learning one or two?
Okay, skills means the ability to do something well, the ability to perform tasks and solve problems quickly. And skills is something that is needed. In fact, as I travel to different countries, I've noticed that especially the youth, without skills, you can't survive out there. Skills are very, very important. And that's why the United Nations have declared July 15 as World Youth Skills Day to celebrate, the importance of equipping young people with skills. And if there's anything that we need in Nigerian society, is for us to encourage our youth to improve on skills, to learn skills, and to advance their life or move forward using skills. Yeah.
Okay, so getting to encourage our children, encourage people, everyone in general to imbibe skills.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we've come to do today. So without anyone telling me, I would say I think you're somebody with skill because, you're an author. Now that is a writing skill.
Yes.
Now reading and writing, I would say, is something that we seem to have forgotten a lot about, especially as it concerns the youth of today.
True.
We've sort of put it in the back door, like writing and reading.
Yes.
We tend to, these days we say we press or we type and we scroll a lot more than we read and we write. So I would like to, ask you to talk a little bit about that and let us know why, the skill of writing would actually do a lot for us, especially intellectually, because we tend to, overlook it. And me, for one, I would say, I can attest to the fact that, not writing for some time, sort of played a negative role, especially to my personal life, I would say, because there were times when I picked up a pen and I'm like, excuse me, my thoughts are not as as coming as freely and as swiftly as it used to come.
That's where skill comes in.
Exactly.
You see, one thing about skill is that it's a practice.
Yes.
It's something that you practice. You've practiced it over and over and over, and it becomes a part of you. So by the time it becomes a part of you, it will not be difficult for you to do it. So that's one thing.
So when you leave it for a very,
but when you
let go of it,
time, it will be difficult for you to go back to it. But by the time you practice it, so when you practice it, it becomes your skill and it becomes a tool. And every youth of today need to have a lot of skills, not just one skill,
a
but
lot
a lot of skills. And in fact, I have about more than 10 sections of skills I'd like to talk about this morning. Yeah,
Okay.
more than 10 sections.
Please shoot. We have all the time in the world.
Okay, so I should go ahead, right?
Go right
Okay,
ahead.
so the first set of skill I want to talk about is transferable skills. When I say transferable skills, I mean skills that you can, if you leave one job and you go to another job, you can still be able to use that skill. Those are what are called transferable skills.
Can we have an example of such?
An example of transferable skills is graphic design. Because if you are working in DBS, for example, and you can do graphic design, if it happens that you are no longer working in DBS, you are now taken to Dangote company, you can